Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show of Get Fresh, Stoughton's Own Cooking. I said show twice, so what am I going to do? Carlos Vargas from Vargas & Vargas Insurance. We have a guest chef with us today, Adelina Armas from International Gourmet Deli Italiano.
Hello.
And you may remember International Gourmet. They used to be in Stoughton, right?
Right.
When? A long time ago?
1978.
Right. And so where were you located?
Central Street.
On Central. Oh, near Ruth's Bakery.
Correct.
Where there's an auto place now?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so everybody knows. And really, they're very close to Stoughton still, only on Oak Street in Boston. I mean, in Brockton, sorry.
Yes.
So just kind of around the corner, really.
Right. And
Near
she
the-
lives in Stoughton.
And I live in Stoughton.
Oh, and you live in Stoughton, too, so
I
that's
do.
a really good thing. So you guys are really good friends.
Well, we're
You
almost
buy-
family, right?
Yeah, we're
My
kinda
son
like-
married her niece, so.
Oh, that's
so it's,
wonderful.
and she's a wonderful chef. I
I
love her
just-
cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank
So
you,
we
Carlos.
decided to invite Adelina here to help show us a quick stuffed chicken dinner and how to do it, but also to talk about the deli and different kinds of meats. You know, when you go to a deli counter, and I'm not putting down any of the stores around, but it's different going to an Italian deli. The meats, some of them you won't find anywhere else. Some of them are pretty unusual. They're all pretty high quality, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so, I mean, why is it, I don't want to put down, but why is it different than if I go to my local market?
Well, first of all, like you said, we import a lot of the Italian cold cuts in, so not everyone carries them
Uh-huh.
because they're, not always available to other people. And in the market, if your market doesn't call for that, carrying a 20-pound piece of sopressata from Italy is not something that would be
You're
used and
gonna find
appropriate.
that.
Exactly. But the other reason is to come to a deli that is European or, any Italian deli or any European, is you want the person that's waiting on you is going to care of how it's sliced. Which makes a huge difference.
The slicing is important.
Well, have you ever had a piece of prosciutto that was too thick and you couldn't chew?
Right, you can't because it is a meat that
All that matters
isn't-
with dry cured meats. So,
That's really good to know. So how long have you been there in the current location?
and the current location is, this February will be 38 years, but in business 39.
Wow. So you do catering too, I'm told.
I do.
Because we've had I remember, were you involved with the Chamber of Commerce? I always remember
Yes,
some Stoughton
yep.
Chamber,
I
different
have done,
things.
yes, I have done, I think, a couple of events for them. I do a lot of corporate catering and personal home catering.
So for corporate catering, just so I know, assuming it's an Italian or European deli, what kinds of things might you be cooking for people?
Well, chicken ziti broccoli, the Alfredos, the chicken cacciatoris, the pastas, baked zitis, lasagnas.
Right. So still really a lot of, you stay in the Italian
Yeah,
mode.
yeah, and it really depends on, the client. If it's corporate, they tend to stay more the traditional. But if it's somebody for home, a lot of people like the light Italian cookie, clean cooking, very little sauces, lighter. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of stuffed beefs and porks
Yeah,
that you
right,
can just
the
put on a
meats.
grill. And
The good old-fashioned food that
old-fashioned
everybody
meats.
likes.
Yeah.
So Carlos.
And you do some amazing soups. I know you've done some catering for us. Your
Yes.
your Italian wedding soup
Italian
is really
wedding
good,
soup.
right?
Everybody
The
knows
chicken
Italian
noodle.
wedding soup with the
Yes.
little
Really
good,
meatballs.
really good.
Yeah, yeah.
yes, we do those. And we make a great broccoli cheddar, a minestrone.
Yeah.
We're soups every day.
And a lot of
Soups
to-go
every day.
meals as well, right? Some
Yes,
pop
we
in at
have hot
noontime.
meals,
So.
to-go meals.
Oh,
We have
wonderful. Oh,
prepared
so you do
foods,
really
heat
a
and
lot.
serve.
Yeah, more than
we
people
have,
would think.
Yes,
Right.
we have a
So
lot.
tonight, Carlos is going to do some grilled vegetables.
I'm going to
to
cut
go
up some
with your
potatoes here,
chicken.
right? Maybe
We're
grab a couple.
doing the grilled vegetables first
Wanna
because
cut
they
them?
take
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
I think so,
while to
right?
grill. How long do you think this stuff is going to have to grill?
These, I think I probably throw them at like 400 or 425, for maybe 25 or 30 minutes. Just kind of base it on how it goes from there.
Right.
So
These are fingerling potatoes.
these are fingerling
And they're
potatoes.
Stop and
Beautiful.
Shop was wonderful
Right.
enough to donate, along with the onion and the pepper, and we thank them so much.
Right.
Good, Carlos?
Yeah, perfect.
You can bring it over if you
Yeah,
need to.
and I'll just do this one here. Just clean this one up here.
And I don't
It's
have to
kinda
work very
big
much on
chunks.
this show. I
Yeah.
get to watch.
Big chunks is good.
Big chunks is good.
Yeah.
Big chunks is good,
The
right?
fingerling
Around you?
potatoes are a little more tender, aren't they?
They are, and they
They
cook
are.
quicker,
Yeah.
so I do that.
These are all different colors, so they look really beautiful.
They do.
In the bowl, and they look great on a plate.
And I'm using Laura's technique of cleaning the pepper, right? The
Yeah.
top, and just pulls it all out. Get that out of there.
Adelina, tell me, what else as a side would you serve with this chicken, if not?
I was telling Carlos earlier, you can do a pasta. There's a lot of juices at the bottom of the pan from the chicken,
Right,
so
I
you
can
can mix into the pasta, add a tablespoon of mascarpone cheese, some grated Parmesan into that, toss it into pasta, rice.
Oh, that
You
sounds
can
really
even
very good.
Just boil a potato,
Right.
plain, with just salt, and then pour that
The juices and,
over the
Yeah.
potato. So really, you can just
similar
about do
to,
anything.
yeah, exactly.
In the summer, these are great with arugula, avocado,
Oh,
tomato,
right,
and then this
right.
grilled chicken on
Nice
top.
summery,
Makes a,
yeah,
makes
yeah.
a great dinner.
There's a
Quick.
lot of options, really.
Yes, there
We
is.
just decided roasted vegetables are really easy to do.
Yeah, and it's winter, so.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so, oh, and look how colorful that
Right?
is. That is
Beautiful.
It's so
just
simple.
beautiful.
May I borrow some of your olive oil?
Absolutely.
So a little olive oil,
Olive
a little
oil.
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Plenty of salt and pepper. That's why it's funny. I was reading somewhere that most Americans are afraid of salt.
Yeah, and
you know, we all
things
tend to-
are missing.
Yeah,
The dish
yeah.
doesn't taste good, whatever it is, if you don't have it.
And
And if you watch any of the cooking shows on TV, I inevitably hear over and over again, well, the dish was really good, but it really needed more salt.
so I'm
so
gonna pop
don't be
this-
afraid.
I'll pop this in the
Pop
oven.
this in the oven. 425.
Yep.
You can roast almost any vegetables. I roast eggplant, I roast zucchini, I roast tomatoes. They're different lengths of time.
I only roast. I roast green beans, I roast
Oh,
Brussels sprouts,
everything.
everything. I never
Everything.
boil anything. I either pan-sear them or roast them, no matter
Fabulous,
what I'm
yeah.
doing with them.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, so what are we doing with the chicken breasts?
Okay, so today we have boneless chicken breast, but you can do it with bone-in breast. The bone-in breast usually comes with your skin on. A lot of people like the skin.
It must
so
get crispier and be juicy.
It does, and some people like, they just like the presentation of the skin. A lot of,
Right.
it just
We're
makes
skin
difference.
eaters in my house. My
Yeah.
kids won't touch it.
Me too.
So-
So I brought boneless today because it's the most popular, and really it's just a simple thing. And all you do is you take your boneless breast and you're going to make 3 slits, but not all the way through, 3/4 of the way.
So kind of angled slits.
Angled slits, correct?
Nice sharp knife.
Yes. So once you've done that, I'm going to wash my hands because I'm going to dip.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, again, as we've said many times on the show, how careful you need to
Absolutely.
be with poultry and other meats. You need to wash your hands in between. You need to wash your utensils. You need to wash
And
the counter.
even a cutting board, red for meats,
Yes.
green for veggies and everything else. That's what I try to do in our house.
I
Yes,
mean,
absolutely.
Adelina brought a whole bunch of
Yeah.
cutting boards. I'm just
Yeah.
going to show you. You just can buy a whole pack.
Yeah.
So here I
So-
thought you were going to slice them the long way, but this is different.
The reason,
this is
the long,
different.
if you cut them the long way, there's more work for you. You know, trying to
Okay.
keep it stuffed in. If you split butterfly, you got to tie.
Right,
So this is
Butterflies
like,
opening it flat. you know.
exactly, and then you stuff, you roll and you tie. You need the string, you need whatever, your toothpicks, whatever. And the other way, just to cut down the middle, also you have to make sure you seal some way so that
Oh,
all your
that's
stuff
right.
doesn't
Yeah,
come out.
yeah, yeah.
So this actually takes all that away. Is quicker. So if you're having a quick dinner, I mean it's perfect. So what you would do is, I just take
We
some
just brought a little bit, so
Yeah.
it's all in these cups.
So I take the salt and I salt the flaps.
Now, would you use kosher salt or
This
sea
here,
salt?
this
or-
here is sea salt, but
Uh-huh.
fine grind. A lot. My children use the chunky salt.
Right.
I like that chunkiness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're half Portuguese, so they
Oh.
like the salt.
Yeah.
So a little bit different. So anyway, so you just season the top. I do not season the bottom because I'm seasoning the insides of these. So you don't
Right.
need to, and then you have all those
It's-
juices that are coming out. So then we do the pepper.
So virtually everything you cook has salt and pepper on it, I'm going to say.
And I always use garlic. I am pretty much
Garlic is
pretty
really
s-
important.
I'm a pretty simple.
Garlic
I-
powder?
Yeah, I like it all. Yes, garlic, granulated garlic actually, and it's roasted.
Roasted.
And I also use if I'm not using fresh onion, we have onion chips. But they're roasted, so the even though they're dry, the
Sure.
flavor's incredible.
Oh, my.
wow.
So,
So
it
do you
makes-
sell everything, all
Yes,
these
we
things?
sell everything.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
good to
And,
know.
People come in and they say they need something, and they're buying the meat. We just fill up one and
Give
have
it to
them
them
go
on
home.
tonight.
Yes.
Sure.
So while I'm doing the spinach, do you want to cut my mozzarella?
Absolutely.
So you're going to cut it in half, and then 3 pieces from each half. So all you do is
here's
really take a
half.
bunch of the fresh.
When you
Yeah.
mean
spinach.
slices, like?
Yep, because we're just going to stuff them right in, as long as
Okay.
you have 3 pieces for each one, so it'll
Okay.
end up to be 6.
Okay.
So I just tuck in the spinach. Thank you, Carlos.
Okay, here we go.
And this is baby spinach, so the stems are very tender. You don't have to chop them off or anything. It all melts down beautifully.
I tend to kind of go, I have to pick the stem mostly out of the bigger spinach, or out of those leaves, because they're really
Yeah,
tough.
You
they're,
have to
they're
take the
much,
stems
but
off.
you
Yeah,
can
right.
actually feel the difference that they're much thicker. These
Right.
are like just, these diminish in your hands.
Right,
Right,
now if you
right,
didn't
yeah.
want to use spinach, but you wanted to do the same thing, could you use kale or?
Kale, yes, but I would chop it finer and rub it with oil before, because you need to break down that.
That fiber,
And
that
are
fibrous a
there
little
other
bit.
kinds of leaves that work? I mean,
Anything,
can you use any
Swiss
greens?
chard, anything.
Uh-huh,
You know,
okay.
if you, I always roast vegetables, so I always have roasted vegetables. Like
could
if you're a Brussels sprouts lover, I am. I
Yeah.
just became one actually. You know, I'll take that and just chop it up and put that in.
Oh,
Instead of,
so you can almost use any vegetable.
you could use
any
a potato,
green, as long as
anything.
it's something that will cook in a reasonable amount of time with the chicken.
Yep, and anything, in like, you know, even when you have leftovers, like if you have mashed potatoes that are leftover, and you
You could
want to
put them in
create
there?
like a pot pie without the pot pie, you can actually, you know, season it all up, put your mashed potato in, and, you know, anything you want, cheese, whatever, and you bake it, and then you do a gravy and you pour it
So
over.
this sounds like you can do anything you want. You got a chicken breast, make slices, push in anything you want.
Yeah, I have done it with.
Look at, so we're
I've
putting in
done
the
it with
mozzarella
risotto.
slices.
I've done
Uh-huh.
it with a bread stuffing and cranberry.
With risotto?
walnut.
Wow, wow,
yeah.
that must be
I
great.
stuff roast beef with risotto.
Oh, wow.
And bake. It's
Wow.
wonderful. It's like one pot meal, you know.
I love
And
the
this,
one-pot meals.
you wouldn't think this would work, frankly. but,
Right.
You know, this
So
looks
anyway,
like
so
it
you
won't.
put all that in,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then I take the prosciutto.
And
So
what
you can
type of
see what
prosciutto
a
is this?
good
This is
quality
Parma prosciutto.
this
This-
is. Parma
And
prosciutto.
Parma prosciutto.
That's a brand or a type?
Parma prosciutto is a type, a brand, and a region. It only comes from one section of Italy.
I
It's
see.
aged from 400 days and up.
Wow.
They salt, cure, time 15 days, wash, salt, cure. So it's never dry, it's never
Uh-huh.
salty. And the place where it comes from,
Oh,
The
it's very
air-
soft.
the air makes a big difference. Their
air?
air quality is. So
Wow.
'cause
Yeah.
Just
I
try how
have
good
ti-
that
I
is.
have customers that make their own
Yeah,
prosciutto here in this
excellent.
country.
They make their own?
Yeah, but
Wow.
and it's not that it's not good, it's just the air quality doesn't, you don't get that silkiness of.
So,
So anyway, you put
soft.
all this little prosciutto in
you go.
between each layer, thank you.
Just a little chunk, right?
Yeah,
Nothing,
yeah.
yeah.
you
Stuff it in.
Depends on how much you like, you know.
Yeah.
And there's fat on
Like
the
a lot,
prosciutto,
but,
so
yeah.
Yeah,
that,
a little bit of
you know,
juice in
kind
there.
of gives you
Yeah.
the extra fat too.
So there's different prosciuttos, right? There's, you know, and the prosciutto di Parma is probably the most expensive, right? Because that comes
Yes,
right
it
from the
is.
region, right? But
So at the store, we sell Parma prosciutto, which is the most expensive because it comes from the region of Parma. But we also sell an imported Italian, which is just outside the region, but they can't call it Parma because it's not within that region.
I see.
So all of Italy
A
makes
lot of rules.
prosciuttos. Yeah. Down up north, their prosciuttos are mostly smoked. Down
Smoked? Oh, wow.
smoked is, yeah, it's the speck.
But this tastes
speck,
better,
yeah.
not smoked.
Northern,
I like
yeah.
this better.
But I guess it's, my dad told me, the northern part of Italy, over centuries, German, Russian.
Right, people that came
so
in.
they
Swedes,
bring
yeah,
their
yeah,
smoke, they
right,
bring all
right.
their little,
Right.
so, and if you go down south, the prosciuttos are a lot drier, almost like the Spanish Serrano, you know,
oh,
how
it's the
chewier.
Serrano ham. Serrano.
So
Okay.
it's all in region.
So now when
Right.
do you use the paprika? Did we miss
Actually,
it?
I just, paprika, this paprika doesn't have flavor.
Oh,
It
really?
Just
has
color?
color.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
Huh.
smoked paprika that they add something to make smoke, and then there's the hot paprika that they.
Right.
But this is just for coloring. So I did forget to do that. So before I stuff it, I usually just sprinkle the breast because
Oh, so
eye
it has-
appeal.
ah.
People, everybody eats with their eyes. You know.
It's true. People
So
eat with
it
their
adds
eyes. All of
coloring.
you know this.
Yes, so then you would just sprinkle it before you would stuff it. So I'm not going to do that now.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so then you just lift it up. You can also put this in the pan and stuff it from the pan if you know.
Right, if it's
you're
already
not
in there and you don't
the
wanna lift
wobbly
it.
thing. Right.
Right.
So I do spray Pam at the bottom because there's cheese in the recipe. So if the cheese oozes out, it doesn't stick. or
Could you
burn.
use a little oil if you wanted in the
I
bottom
use
and
both,
rub it?
but for some reason the Pam just keeps that cheese from you know, actually
Adhering,
adhering. So then you just pick up your breasts and you put them in. And then I drizzle oil on top, and a little bit, just a little bit in the pan. And then I pop them in the oven. These were 7.5 ounces, so just say an 8-ounce breast, and it's about 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay.
At 325?
I
at
do at
400?
350.
350.
Adelina was kind enough to make some ahead,
I also,
so we'd
sorry,
be
I'm
able to
sorry.
show you.
I also start mine off covered.
Oh, cover.
For the
covered,
15 minutes, I cover them.
just to make
because-
sure it cooks.
No, well, the steaming, so the liquid stays in the breast and the steaming, and then you take it off to brown it and just finish it. I just
see.
think it gives
well,
it a
I do
little
that
more.
with a few other dishes
Yeah,
I
keeps
make.
it a little moisture,
Yeah.
you know, where it is a chicken breast. Yep, perfect. And I'm just gonna go to the sink.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to check on the vegetables.
Yeah. And I can move away
Okay,
the salt
coming
and
along.
pepper so you guys can see everything really well in the future. We're really lucky because Adelina brought some dessert for us because I said, well, what about a dessert? So they make fabulous cannolis.
Right, these are all homemade fresh, right?
They're
You
well
stuff them?
known for their cannolis.
Yeah, so I'll
And
get
I think you were the one that introduced me to ricotta cheese with cannoli chips.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Those are great,
It's just
aren't
a
they? They're
beautiful
addictive.
platter.
They're addictive.
You could flavor the ricotta too.
Anything.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you could lay strawberries on it or cherries or
Right.
who knows.
Chocolate chips
Oh,
and
yum.
pistachio and
Yum, yum.
It's all good stuff.
kinds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So where are we? Oh, so let's show the ones
finish?
we already cooked.
Okay, so this is the chicken breast. It's all cooked,
Got to lift it up a bit.
and there's a lot of juice in there.
And
so,
that's from the chicken
yeah,
and the olive oil, and that's
the
all.
prosciutto, and your mozzarella.
It looks like it would be chicken broth even, but
Right.
it isn't.
Well, there is some broth because the chicken itself has juice.
It
so
juices out.
so-
So I don't know, can you see this? It looks really, I'll put my hand under it so it won't spill. It looks beautiful. It's a company dish.
Smells great,
Yeah.
too.
And so
It's
when
a
you're going to
company dish.
plate it, if you wanted to plate it all together, whether it be a pasta or a rice, I take this juice, tablespoon or two of mascarpone, heat it up, some Parmesan cheese, let it just thicken up a little, and then I pour it over the pasta, put the 2 chickens on top, and then you have your whole meal.
This is beautiful, and we know that there are things to do with this juice that's left
Right.
over. We can make a
Right.
delicious gravy, we can do, I'm
Right.
gonna grab a plate.
Sure.
And here I'm gonna bring out the bread that you brought along, and it's called
Pizzetti.
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 So I'm gonna be Italian, I love Italian food, so.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
what do
be
you do with
happy.
that?
So tell us, it's
Small?
it really looks like a little loaf. Can
Fried
I
dough.
break it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
It's hard.
Yep, it'll be crusty
Crusty.
outside, soft inside. And when they
Wonderful.
come right out, when I take these home, I put them in my oven because my children and I like very crusty bread. But when you bite into it, it is just
Try it.
I will.
crunchy. So
Delicious.
this is actually a baby pizza made into bread. Instead of putting your sauce and cheese,
Oh, it has a little salt on it, huh?
olive oil and salt. It's olive oil and salt rub before it's baked.
So
Really good.
the dough is just a typical bread dough?
It is a typical pizza
Oh,
dough.
look how smart he
Yeah.
is. He's
Wow.
dipping.
It's a pizza dough.
It's so good. So you would make a little homemade pizza with this?
You
Is that
could
what
if
you
you
do?
wanted, but see, I
Get
let
it
them
right.
rise, so if you're
Yeah.
gonna make the pizza, you would not, unless you like thick pan.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
so you
thinner.
wouldn't let it rise, but I let these rise, and then I olive oil and salt them, and then I bake them in the oven. And for today's purpose, of
Boy,
course,
is
they're
that
on the
good.
light side, but if we were serving them, because we serve these every day with our lunches,
Oh,
they are darker and crustier, so when you bite,
So if you
got
order
this-
soup from you, you get something
always,
like
you always
this.
get a pizza.
You people are
Yeah.
lucky. I think you're going to be going over there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
dipped in this gravy, it's
right. The,
really
the sauce
good.
is delicious.
Is it
Oh,
good?
it's really
Good.
good. I'm telling you.
I'm going to check on the
Okay.
veggies.
All right,
Let's
and I'll
move it over
yeah,
here.
and I do have a spatula here. Thank you.
Got a couple more minutes, and we should be.
Okay. And we can break up some of this bread.
And
Stick
dip
it around the
and dip it in
edges
the
for
sauce.
everybody to be. Don't get rid of that sauce.
No,
Left
absolutely.
it
That's
right
so
there
good.
for you, sweetheart.
Here we are. So we're gonna bring the veggies out, right?
Yep,
Because
we'll
we've been
check 'em.
roasting them
Yeah,
how
so-
long?
so
Check them
long.
out. And let's see how they are.
Wonderful.
I think they're done.
And, oh, wonderful, wonderful. And we're gonna put them on this plate. You could put one of the breasts and veggies next to it. Would be perfectly fabulous. Hey, do you need a knife to get them out?
I think we're,
Oh my
Yeah.
God, look how beautiful really that is.
some nice color in there.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Excellent, yeah.
And a disposable pan. Which is
Right?
wonderful,
Yeah.
no cleaning up.
So
Right.
I don't know how it looks best. What do you think?
That looks great.
So
They look great.
we wanted to talk a little bit about the mozzarella because there's a lot of varieties of mozzarella and how it's made, how it's aged, how it's seasoned.
Well, there's tons of different types of mozzarella out there, but they're actually different manufacturers as of types.
Oh.
So the fresh mozzarella that you...
Which is what you brought.
is what I brought. The brand that I use is Grande, and the reason I use the Grande is because it's water, sea salt, and the enzyme, and nothing else.
Oh.
So there's no additives, there's nothing to keep it longer, because the more you add to the soft mozzarella, the harder the mozzarella
You've
gets.
had some mozzarellas that are really soft and delicious and others that are kind of gummy
Yeah.
And no flavor.
and no flavor, which
No
is
flavor.
a big
And you
thing,
should
yeah.
always, always, always buy mozzarella that has got the fluid. If it's not in such, it's got to be covered in the fluid to be a good mozzarella.
So what about the ones that you see in the stores that are vacuum sealed?
Well, that's, I believe they're
Not enough
well,
fluid? They're not fresh,
carbon
perhaps?
monoxide in, air out to stabilize, so something that lasts 2 weeks will last 6 weeks.
Right.
Because they sucked out the air with that carbon
Right.
monoxide.
But mozzarella
But the
doesn't
texture
really
is
last
off.
that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
The texture is
Right.
off.
Now, what's
Flavor.
burrata?
Burrata is fresh mozzarella with a cream center. I actually watched
that
once.
sounds
them
kinda
make
good.
it. Yeah, I
What-
see them
what can
make
be
them
bad?
time-consuming,
Mozzarella and
right?
cream.
Right, it is very good. I don't recommend it for this because it oozes. But if you love arugula and you love onion, just do arugula, onion, and open up one of those burritas in the center. Do a balsamic glaze. It is the best
Simple.
lunch you could.
Another
oh
simple
my
one,
God,
right?
fresh and delicious.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's just wonderful.
So I want to bring over the cannolis that you brought. Hang on, we put them on a lovely plate, but you make them at...
Yes, I do.
Whoops, sorry, my bread fell. You make them at International Gourmet. You stuff the shells, you make the shells.
No, the shells are all bought. There's one gentleman, and him and his family are the biggest cannoli company,
No kidding.
and they do
So
it all
everybody
over the
buys
country.
from them.
Because you can't beat it,
Uh-huh.
unless you're going to be doing it at home yourself.
And so
with
what makes a
lights.
good crust? Crispy?
They're always crispy. It's how they're stored, because he's huge. You know, how they store them is how they stay crisp,
And they're fresh.
and always fresh. So.
So you would just buy the shells and you fill them
Yeah,
for
we make our
everybody.
own
Yeah.
cannoli cream, which I can't tell you what's in it because my
It's a secret recipe.
yes, he's in heaven, but he would be
It's
mad at
okay,
me.
it's okay.
So
It looks good. We're
yes,
gonna eat it, so
my
that's all
dad
we care
created the recipe. It's wonderful, but the secret to a great cannoli is not only the cheese and what they put in it, but you should never eat a cannoli that isn't stuffed in a case. If they're not filling them for you right then and there,
Right. So
But-
if you buy it and it's already in a display, it's been
because
sitting.
once you have that cheese in there, it starts to
Soggy.
eat at the crust. And you will get 6-7 hours out of crust.
Right.
But if you bought it from a refrigerator and then you're taking
I
it out, you're driving
understand.
home, by the time you
It never
serve-
tastes good the next day,
So
even
it
when
would
you
be
buy them
okay
fresh.
to order
yeah.
ahead and come there, like we're gonna need this
Yeah,
many.
yeah.
Come there, you fill
When you-
them, we take
yes,
them.
when you order them ahead,
Yeah.
if you say, Adelina, I'm coming Saturday at 10, those cannolis are not filled until 9:30.
Ah, so that's good. It gives you the,
Well, because I know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go home with a soggy cannoli. and
right,
I'm
I mean,
not-
there
I'm
isn't
doing-
much worse. My husband
Exactly.
loves cannolis. It's his favorite
Right.
dessert. Tell me other desserts you might make there.
We have limoncello torte. We have a tiramisu that's flown in from Italy. that
tiramisu is a big favorite.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna do a
wonderful.
dessert
Yeah.
show pretty soon. We're working up to it.
Yeah, we bring
Because
in
we haven't done a lot of
The
desserts.
lobster tails and the
Oh, those are
peroginas.
great.
That comes from Modern Pastry. We don't bake those. Modern Pastry in Boston. We go in, and he has the peroginas and the rum slices and the Neapolitans, and he's got an almond mound that's custard filled, but it's all almond paste on the outside. All wonderful desserts.
So you
which we
must
all
be
sell.
really busy around Christmas and Easter,
Yes,
and
yes,
I can
yes.
just picture it.
And I love it. I love people, and I love what I do.
So
So
instead
that
of,
makes a big difference.
so if you don't have the time to go into the north end,
Correct.
That's right. You
and
just
you're
go
a
right
modern
around
lover
the
like I
corner.
am,
Yeah.
Adelina is
Yep.
just up the street.
Right
so that's
around the
wonderful.
corner, really.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, people go all the time to
Right.
DSW and
Yeah.
Panera,
Right,
whatever.
and-
is up
and
there.
they're right there.
Or right
Yeah,
around
right
the
there.
corner, just
Yes,
take a left.
yes.
So look what we have, fabulous and delicious roasted vegetables. We have the wonderful chicken breast
Right.
that is stuffed, this great pizza...
Pizzette.
Pizzette bread, which I really liked, even though I can't remember the name, and delicious desserts. Very, very special and specially taken care of by you. It's clear that your place values the quality of the food,
Right.
the freshness of the food. It's not just, grab it off a shelf, it's been there 6 weeks or whatever.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you
We
for having
really,
me. Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Carlos.
it.
Oh, thank you.
Don't
My
forget to
pleasure.
go
Nice to see
visit
you.
International Gourmet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.